Hey gang, welcome back to Joe Daddy's Workshop. As many of you already know, this is my secondary channel. My primary channel is Joe Daddy's Garage. On that channel, I work on stuff like that. 68 Mustang, 68 Camaro. I do a lot of restoration videos and that sort of thing, but I also do other things, and that's why I have this channel. Now, I haven't posted a video in a while, and I apologize for that, but I have something a little bit different that you may or may not be interested in. Sitting behind me is our old washing machine. Why is it in the garage? What are you going to do with it? Well, let me tell you. This washing machine, we've had it X number of years. I don't know for sure. It served us well. It's a front load washer. We had it on pedestals, a matching washer and dryer. And the washer, it quit running. The lights would come on. I did a bunch of testing and I thought it was a bad motor. Bought a motor, wasn't the motor, sent the motor back because other issues, but anyway, turns out the motor was fine. So more than likely it was the motherboard or the control panel. We didn't want to mess around with it. We already knew that it had some issues and we decided to buy some new machines. So we did buy a new washer and dryer. I will have some videos coming out on that hopefully soon. But in the meantime, what can I do with this? Now this is just a bunch of metal, right? Bunch of metal, electronics, a motor, and it all works together to wash our clothes. Unfortunately, these things fail. And in this case, we had several things that were leading to its demise, let's say. So let me show you some of that. Now without plugging it in, you know, you had your dial up here that you could set your different settings. You could change your temperatures, all those different things. You can read what it says. And then for most part, most of us, I would say we just go normal, put it on a regular wash, and start. And that's all we ever really did with this thing. We did have problems with this door. It actually had come off, and I'd fixed it once before, but nonetheless, that was one of the problems. One of the other problems is you can see down here. Now this is worse than it was because I had set this thing outside for a month or so, and rain and whatnot gets to it, makes it look even worse. But it was rusting in multiple places, and this is crunchy underneath here. Open up this, and there was rust on the bottom of the door there. Over a period of time, this has leaked out of this lower seal. I know you can replace those seals. We did not feel like we were going to invest in all that. Okay, so here it is, the date of 07. So 15 years. Now mind you, this has been sitting outside exposed to the weather, so it's going to look a little worse than it probably was. Now I don't just want to throw this away. That's the easy way out. I want to do something else. The drum is stainless steel, so I want to turn that into a fire pit, but I have to get it apart first. So I'm just going to do a tear down on this. Usually it's pretty simple. You just find screws and bolts that hold everything together. You start taking things apart. I've already had this cover off before, and that exposes the motor. I can show how to do that if you want to see it. But otherwise, it's just going to be a matter of pulling screws. Like I think these here up on this, underneath this overhang, if I take those two out, I think this whole top comes off. Again, that whole panel comes off, and I'm just going to take the thing apart and salvage that drum. So if you're curious about how this works, you've got this box on the side over here. That is where your tray is, as you can put in laundry detergent or additives and stuff like that. And then it has these little, I'm going to say servos, that open or close to allow fluids to come in to the system. On this side, this is a vent. It actually has an opening in the back here. You can maybe see that, where that's just a vent. So these would make their way into a channel and into the drum down below. And of course, all this is electronics. I'm not going to get into all that. Not that important. All the screws that are on this, that hold everything together, are square drive. So, you'll need a square drive bit to do all this. I've already taken 2 screws out of the back here, so I'll get these out of the way. And these screws are probably handy to have if you've got some sort of nice sheet metal project. I'm just going to keep pulling stuff apart. I'm not worried about saving this, in case you were wondering. Must be missing a screw, a hidden one. There it is. Ha! Found it. Look at that one. Oh, there's another one. There we go. The thing here, these on the sides, it's kind of hard to show you this, but on the sides there are springs, and that's what keeps the tub moving around. So I'm going to have to disconnect those springs somehow, and those springs are holding on to this piece, keeping it attached to the top. The other difficulty is these have this back panel is not just screwed together. If I can show you a little bit, maybe. It's got some sort of, I won't call it a rivet, but it's got like it was something that pressed and pushed a piece of metal through a hole and expanded it. The metal is all part of this piece. So I'll have to see what I need to do to destroy that. There's one, two. Okay, that's gonna work. That's gonna work. Separate back in. Now you can see the springiness. So that whole thing is supported by these springs up here on top. Let me show you. So you have the motor down here, your drive belt, the main pulley system turns the drum inside. Down here, as a connection point, I think that allows it to slide up and down on that piece. There's probably another one on the other side, and then you have these springs up here. Now you can see what I was talking about. So when you bounce this, and there's a heavy load in there, that's what it does. It moves around. That is also why your gasket is so big, so it moves around as well. So the challenge is going to be, I think, getting those springs off without hurting myself. Just to show, these were the dimples that I was talking about, and they pressed into holes in that back or the side panels, and that's what held everything together. So not much you can do besides pop them off or drill those out if you wanted to. There's one spring. The other one hopefully will be easier. It's falling apart. Well, that's the springs for the most part. Booyah! Okay, so I described this backwards. You put your solutions in this section. This is actually your water inlet. You have your hot and your cold inlet. So I was doing it backwards. When the water's coming in, this servo or this servo or this servo will turn and allow the chemicals to go into this chamber and then come down through this opening, this rubber boot, and that's actually what lets it go into the washing area. So these are the inlets. I was looking at it backwards. Aha. It's got a metal band that goes around that seal with a little spring-loaded end on it. See if I can do something here. I want to show you this. I feel like I'm gutting a cow or something, right? I got these weird looking organs coming out of it. This is a coin trap. Your water will drain, go anything that gets caught in the coin area, like if it slips through, will go down here and collect. And this is where it gets pretty pretty nasty looking. You know, if you don't, what I like about the new machines is you can clean them. Look how junky that is in there. Junky, junky, junky. So I'm gonna take and see if there's anything in. I can see there's some nasty looking stuff in there. Hold on a second. All right, so I'm gonna take this bag and just tilt this up and dump it in there. I don't want to dump it on my hand. Ugh. Blah. In fact, there's like a sleeve inside of this. Look at all that. That's nasty. There's like a sleeve inside of this. You can maybe see it. I don't know if I can get it the angle right. There's a piece of plastic in there that has holes in it that's supposed to actually catch all this stuff. So if you ever take this out, just know it's going to be nasty. Yeah. There's a penny. Because I'd emptied this out before, but there was a penny in there. There's some fabric. Oh wait, there's 2 dimes and a penny. There's some material from something, and that's it. I think. Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. A quarter. Yeah, 25, 35, 45, 46 cents. I'm rich. And some nasty water and blood. Okay, I'm showing you this upside down. So, if you were to look at your washing machine, typically the motor is going to be at the bottom because it's the heaviest part. You don't want it up on top. So, if you ever have to change a belt, really easy. If your belt's already off or broken, all you have to do is get this started off the edge of this roller, comes right off. That's easy enough. This motor is probably still good, honestly. I don't know if anybody could use it, but I know it's still good. So I'm going to take this connector off, and basically it had 3 wires. It has this little clip that holds it onto the motor. Just a push pin type of clip. Let me see if I can get that off. There you go. So I say 3 wires. I had 5 wires, and they were all in those connectors, and then I had this little ground wire. So if you ever need to remove one of these motors, it's really simple. There's a bolt here, here, and there's one in the back. So if you can use an extension. Get on the one in the back first. Always take out the hardest one first. And then this will have to slide away from the drum because it has these posts, these hollow pockets. And there's basically a post on the inside where it slides onto it. So you couldn't lift it off or couldn't fall off if the bolts came loose. So you have to slide it back and lift it off. Now at this point, it's just a lot of removal of bolts. You know, you have the drum inside, and there's various hardware on the outside here that probably holds this front section on. So I'm just going to start taking all this stuff off. Make sure the sizes, yeah. Well, that's heavy. Wow. Ugh. That's a heavy piece. That's some sort of counterbalance. That looks like concrete. Look at that. I never knew that. That looks like concrete in there. Wow. That's probably a good 20 pounds or so. Spring. holds the rubber boot on. We're getting somewhere now. Sweet. Wow. Pretty good too. There's an Allen head in this. That's a nice bearing. Just try it. There it is. Woo. Now, the only thing left is it even worth it? That's the next question. Looks like. You can't break it loose, break it off. Whew. Man. Yeah. The only other thing, I guess, is to remove these inner plastic tumbler pieces. Okay. It's apart. Is it worth it? No. But this, I mean, this is stainless drum. Not very heavy. I think it'll work fine, make a fire pit out of. Obviously, it's going to have to be cleaned up some more. All these years, it's probably leaked. This feels like soap. So who knows how long this has really been leaking, but that feels kind of soapy to me. It's real pretty on the inside right there. Really nice. Pieces and parts. I've always wanted to take one of these apart, just look at it and see how it worked. And I probably won't do it again. there's pieces everywhere. So the rest of it will go to scrap, and I'll keep the drum and hopefully come up with a way to turn it into a little stand or something. I don't know just yet. Okay, it's apart. And now we know what it takes to do that. Obviously there's a lot of bolts and wiring and motor and all that other stuff that makes these things operate. Did we learn anything? Well, probably the most important thing I learned is there's a big heavy ring up on the front of this thing. And just how scummy these things can get on the inside. It's pretty scary. But anyway, I hope you found some entertainment in this. Maybe you don't want to do this, and I don't blame you, but at least you know what it would take if you do want to attempt something like this. So I want to thank you for watching. If you would, leave a thumbs up and a comment. Let me know what you think about this kind of video. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya. I think that works.
I think so too. I like it.
It's got plenty of air getting in it. I thought about making a lid, like a damper almost. You know, but you still have the air coming in. I don't know if it would.
Actually, it looks really well.
I like it. Yeah. It works.